Here we go. We're going to get started. And, well, you're coming in late. You're just going to have to catch up. My name is Michael Winiger, CEO of Asante Organics. And, we got something really, really special here with this company. And I was just talking to somebody, my goodness, 10 minutes ago, truly 10 minutes ago. And I said, you know, I look at everything that's out in the marketplace and I just watch things and what's happening on social media, and everybody, they're looking for help. They're looking for help in their health. And from a health perspective, I said, look, I was talking to somebody, I says, I don't know where some people get the disconnect when they're looking at this or looking at that, or, we're hearing of these new things now coming into the space. And it's so funny because it's not new. The new things that are coming around, we wouldn't even be alive if we weren't even having that be a part of our life. We've been doing that since the beginning of time, and you've done it since the day you were born, but somebody's come up with a new twist on things, and we don't do that. We built out a nutritional line where nothing less, nothing more. And then you got the biggest research centers in the world using that line as part of their protocol to heal other people, to provide full permanent recovery. I think that speaks in and of itself. Nominated for a Nobel Prize in gut health, some of the products in the product line, that speaks volumes than trying to put a twist on something that's already been in our lives for a long time. And then I said, and then if you're looking at this as a business, oh my goodness, you know what? My brother said it well yesterday when we were on a conference call with somebody. Do you know how much time and resources it would take you to make every single product in this product line that we've made, and making sure it's certified organic, it's certified by the Toxic Free Foundation, it's got over 100 certifications on it, and you're dealing with percentages and volumes and everything that you would have to do. It would take millions and millions and millions. I mean, tens of millions of dollars to do exactly what has been done here, let alone us warehousing millions of dollars of things for you. So you can get started in your own business. It's turnkey, it opens up, and now you own the largest certified organic superstore in the world on the internet. Oh my goodness. If you would just, if you had the $50 million it takes to do something like that, then you could go out there and say, look what I've got. Look what we've developed here. You've got that. That's what you have got. That's your company. That's what you own. That's what you have. What are you going to do with it? Right. But right now, I'm going to turn the floor over to somebody who's, whoa, doctor, give me the truth, I guess. And next week, I'm going to quote a song with the new flyer, because now it kind of got me all back into rock and roll, right? Um, so for Tuesday, I already got your flyer already figured out. So with that being
Nice.
said, I want to introduce you to somebody that is a doctor, has extraordinary credentials, took a company from 19 million to a billion in 5 years, was a part of that growing of a company, and is super, super knowledgeable, been on stages all around the world, giving her advice and showing people not only how to change their health and their life, but showing them how to change their financial health. And when you change that, trust me, a lot of other things change with that as well. So with that being said, I'm going to hand over the floor to Dr. Becky.
And thank you, Michael. It's always an honor to be part of this team, to be your medical director, and to be able to teach people about how to support their gut, their microbiome, and what it does systemically to support their quality of life and their longevity. And, I always touch upon the fact that everything is tied to your gut. So being a gastrointestinal specialist for so many years in Tucson, Arizona, I saw so many disorders related to the esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectal area, anal area, pancreas, biliary system, gallbladder, liver, you name it, I saw it. I was one of the very first women in all of Arizona to practice gastroenterology, so you can only imagine how huge my practice was. In fact, I at one point covered 8 hospitals, meaning that I never slept and I never saw my family. I had no quality of life, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the fact that the pharmaceutical industry is poisoning us and that the insurance industry is basically taking advantage not only of healthcare providers, but patients themselves. So when I made the switch to retire in 2005 from traditional medicine and went into being medical director of holistic nutritional companies, it was the right move for me because the world became my waiting room. And truly, I have impacted, I would think, probably millions of lives at this point, doing things the right way. And your company is the right way to do things because certified organic and going green is the only way we should be going at this point in time because of our toxic society, because our kids and our grandkids and great grandkids are growing up in a society that's basically poison. And you do things every day in your life to, take care of yourself and your body and your health. But are you doing the right things? Are you putting the right stuff in your body? Are you taking certified organic products? Are you doing certified organic products for skincare or shampoo or detergent or toothpaste, sanitizer, etc.? So I want to go back to just the gut microbiome because we always need to start there. And if you've listened to these Zooms that Michael and I have been doing for the past several months and some of my Facebook Lives, you know that the microbiome is trillions of organisms that live within your intestines. They also live on your skin. There's microbiomes throughout our body, but mainly the gut is your number one area of these trillions of organisms that need to be healthy. And when you are fueling them with the right stuff, with the right organic supplements and the right food, then this microbiome becomes healthy and happy, and it helps to balance your brain chemistry. It strengthens your immune system, helps to ward off inflammation, strengthens your endocrine system. The skin also becomes beautiful again. Your liver is supported, and we keep the integrity of our gut intact so that we try to ward off inflammation secondary to leaky gut syndrome and toxins coming into the body and setting up the inflammatory cascade. So when I talk about anti-inflammatory diets, it all goes back to supporting your microbiome. If you're supporting your microbiome and the integrity of your gut by eating green leafies and doing the organic greens from Asante and having the alkaline shake in the morning and adding the fruits and doing the probiotics and the digestive enzymes, you're supporting a really strong microbiome, which in turn supports everything else. But diet's really important. I mean, you need to start at the produce section when you go grocery shopping. You may need to just stay there the whole time. You don't need canned foods. You don't need food with toxins and coloring dyes and just garbage, right? So I want to talk about a particular subject that I used to see in my practice all the time. I saw irritable bowel. We talk about, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, which I saw every single day in my practice. That's your gas and bloat, distension, pain, change in bowel pattern, very debilitating. And it's all because the microbiome is screwed up, right? And then your motility of your gut gets screwed up. And when motility is off, that's when all those symptoms start to really kick in. But the second thing I saw in my practice that was so common that can also be assisted with Michael's products and a good diet is something called reflux esophagitis. So some of you have heard of reflux or GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD. It just means heartburn. It means that the acids in your stomach are going backwards up your esophagus, and it hurts and it burns, and it becomes an issue for a lot of people. And when you get esophagitis, remember when you add an itis onto anything, it means inflammation. So esophageal inflammation is esophagitis. And if it goes on and on and on, and you don't fix the problem with your motility and you don't fix your weight issues in most instances, you can develop something called strictures, where all of a sudden the lower esophagus starts to narrow because it's so inflamed, it starts to scar. So some of my fun late nights on call going to the emergency room was food impactions, where I'd get a phone call from the ER doc saying, So-and-so had Chinese food about 4 hours ago and kept eating despite the fact that wasn't getting out of their esophagus, wasn't getting into their stomach because they have a narrowing. So I'd have to go in and sedate patients and start pulling food out of their esophagus. It was a nightmare. And then you had to go down and stretch the stricture. And sometimes you couldn't stretch it because it was too inflamed and bleeding. So how do we fix issues like this? Or how do we address issues like this? Reflux happens in a lot of instances because of weight gain. So you have this intra-abdominal pressure, this toxic visceral fat that starts to put pressure and doesn't allow that stomach to empty properly. So you start to have the reflux, things going backwards. But our diet has a lot to do with it too. There's studies that look at gastric emptying, meaning like how long does it take for food to empty from the stomach? It should be pretty darn fast. But if you're high in fat and high in carbs with your diet and low in protein, then your stomach doesn't want to empty, and the lower esophagus, it's called the lower esophageal sphincter, starts to relax. So everything in the stomach starts to go backwards up the esophagus. So studies also show that losing anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds will fix reflux in a huge majority of patients. Now, I'm going to tell you a program that I started yesterday with Michael's products and why I'm doing it. I don't have reflux. But I turn 60 November 5th next month, almost in 30 days. And I'm excited to turn 60 because it's a great milestone and I feel great, but I want to look even better and I want to feel even better. So I want to lose 10 pounds. This is just me because I'm 5'1" and I feel comfortable at a certain weight and I need to address that. And so what I'm doing is one of Michael's shakes for breakfast as my meal replacement, which I do every single day. And then I'm doing salad for lunch, and I'm doing a shake for dinner. And every time I make a shake, in go the enzymes and the probiotics, and I open the omega and put that in there, and the reds and the greens. And I'm going to do that over the next several weeks. And I'm going to keep everyone updated on my progress because I know I'm going to lose the weight and feel amazing. But that's just my program. But if you have some issues and it deals with your weight, then do what I'm doing. Get on a boot camp with me. Do a shake for breakfast, a shake for dinner, meal replacement, so much better than eating a cheeseburger, pizza, or anything, and do a salad or something really healthy for lunch, and you'll be amazed at what starts to happen. The other thing I wanted to share with you, because I am such a salad person and I'm also into like Mediterranean diet, is, okay, I love the omegas. This is flax. This is cold pressed organic flax, which is my favorite prebiotic on the planet. The pills are a little bit big. So, I mean, I take a lot of pills. I pretty much add everything to my shake, but the pills are big. So here's what I do. I just poke a hole with a pin and then I empty out the flax oil onto my salad. And then I love apple cider vinegar. It's my favorite. Probiotic, fermented, giving you healthy microorganisms to support your microbiome. So do a shake for breakfast and add all these wonderful things to it, and do a shake for dinner as a meal replacement. You're going to save money, by the way. As a meal replacement, you're going to save a lot of money. And then have a nice healthy salad and do an omega and some apple cider vinegar on there. If you want to do some fish, some chicken, so be it. I think it's the way to go. So I definitely wanted to share that with you. What else? My mind is going crazy because there's so many things I wanted to address this evening, and I don't want to leave anything out. I want to talk to you about the Phyto Cleanse because I always want to talk about cleansing because cleansing is important. You need to cleanse toxins out of your body. And Esante Organic products help your liver, help phase 1 detoxification, phase 2 detoxification pathways. So when the liver's working, you're flushing toxins, you're helping to flush fat because toxins and fat sit together. Now, the Phyto Cleanse does something completely different in terms of helping the microbiome in such a way because you're ridding the intestines of something called biofilm. Biofilm is like slime, it's like pond scum. It's something that encases bad bacteria, bad fungus, bad protozoa. So these cement type films cover the microbiome and allow it to fester. If it's bad microbiome and all of a sudden it has a house on top of it, which is called biofilm, then these things start to multiply and start to break down the integrity of your gut wall. And then all the toxins go bam, right into the vascular system. And then the inflammatory cascade starts to set up in your body. And inflammation is linked to the metabolic syndrome I always talk about. Obesity, that's that visceral fat, hypertension, cardiovascular issues, high lipids in the bloodstream. So that we want to avoid, obviously. And then it also, with inflammation, is linked to atherosclerosis throughout the body. It could be peripheral, it could be in our coronary artery system, it could be in our brain, increasing our risk for events like a stroke or an aneurysm. So when we address our microbiome and we address the integrity of our gut and we get rid of the biofilm and we start to give probiotics, I don't have my bottle here, but probiotics, eating prebiotics, doing the omegas, which is also a great prebiotic with the flaxseed, and supporting with the greens to be alkaline. By the way, alkalinity and inflammation don't like each other. So inflammation will be warded off when you are an alkaline system. And then you support with the PhytoCleanse every evening. If you get on a program and you stick with it, you're going to see results. And I started a wonderful lady on products about a month and a half ago who her gut issues were very life-altering for her. And I spoke with her today and she said, you know, I knew I wasn't being compliant with the program, but you told me to stick with it and stick with it and stick with it. And you kind of just harped on me. And I said, you know, set a timer on your phone if you can't remember when to take those digestive enzymes. Set a timer on the probiotics. Make sure you carry them with you in your purse. And today she said that her gut's never been better. And she has a masseuse that she sees once a month for a lymphatic cleanse, a lymphatic massage. And she said up until this month, she always had this masseuse start to work on her abdominal area to do lymphatic cleansing from the abdomen and then work on the rest of the body. She said this is the very first time since she's been seeing this masseuse that she said, you know what? My gut is fine. I want you to work on this area of my lymphatics, this area of my lymphatics, my groin lymphatics. This, she said, it's the first time that she did not need to have treatment for her issues of her gut because she stuck with the program and her whole life is starting to align. And now she's out there recommending it, which is awesome because, you know, when you see a person start to share their story with passion, conviction, and belief, and you see how other people are just so into that, then building a business here is the simplest thing you could possibly entertain because going green is the way to go. Whether you want to use it in the home or on your body or ingest it, everything's available to you with this company. And I'll just end with this. The promotional that's going on right now, you have new people coming in that want to go green, have them do a Go Green pack and get a free trip with free hotel and airfare. Wow. I mean, I'm going to start harping on this every morning with my Facebook Lives that if you're not taking advantage of this, shame on you. And as the holidays approach, you should be looking at giving Go Green packs to everyone. I mean, look at what you spend on Christmas or other times of the year this year on like giving gifts that people won't use or don't need or don't utilize. And then all of a sudden you walk in and go, you know what, I want to change your life. So I'm going to give you the gift of health, the gift of going green, the gift of going organic. And then you will just watch what happens, the cascade of positive effects with people having results and people telling people. So I'll leave it with that. I covered a lot of ground. But, you know, Michael, it's always an honor to be with you and your team. And I love what the movement is doing. And I feel proud to be part of it.
Oh, there we are. Thank you very much. And guys, you know what? I'm going to switch it up a little bit because I want to teach you guys something tonight that I think is going to be extremely powerful, really powerful, life-changing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the opportunity, but before I do that, I want JJ to I'm just going to talk about one part of the compensation plan at the end, but everything in between that, one part, and let Dr. JJ take the floor, and we'll hear from him as well. Drum roll.
Well, thank you, Michael. So what part of the compensation plan do you want me to talk about so I'm not stepping on your toes? I'm not clear on that.
Well, I'm going to do a little graph in people's heads
Okay.
about what can happen in 12 months.
Okay.
So you understand what that part is, right?
Okay, great. Wonderful.
So we can find that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
No, thank you. Thank you. So it is a very exciting time, and I appreciate what Dr. Becky shared. And she's right with what we're offering right now with the Go Green. The Go Green Pack's already a huge value. And as Dr. Becky said, wow, what better a gift than the gift of health? But right now, shame on people that aren't getting that or promoting that, because the recipient of that package is going to get that trip for two. And that ends October 31st. But to get to the compensation plan, we're going to offer you 6 ways to get paid. I'm not going to go over all 6 now, but they're really, really easy. But let's just talk about a couple of them. And when I speak about a couple of them, I want to share that they fall into an area called residual income. For all of you that are watching this live or recording, maybe you've had residual income before, maybe you haven't. Residual income is like doing a job one time and getting paid for that over and over and over again. I know if you're a famous author and you write a book, every time that book sells, even though you did the work one time, you wrote the book, every time a book sells, you're getting paid. Or if you're like Michael, where you were a musician, he had a hit on MTV back on the day. Every time that song is played on the radio, even though you've recorded it just one time, you're getting paid over and over again. Well, I don't have great writing skills, and I definitely don't have singing or musical skills. But what I can share with you, if you're in the same boat as I, you can get residual income from this opportunity. So one of the ways that we get residual income is you're going to manage basically 2 teams, a left team and a right team. And your job is just to get them in front of the information. As our CCO, Daniel, always says, once somebody has a choice between toxic products and toxic-free products, they're always going to choose toxic-free products, especially when they're guaranteed to work as well as the toxic stuff, if not better. As you manage 2 teams, you're going to be paid 10% on all of the orders and reorders to infinite levels of depth. If you've been in companies similar to this in the past, they might pay you 3 levels, 6 levels, 10 levels. This is unlimited levels. You might only enroll a couple of people, and I know Michael, our CEO, is going to talk about that in a bit. Even if you just enrolled a couple of people who enroll people, you can get paid 10% on all the volume that people order month after month after month. And what's great about our products is, as Dr. Becky shared, we've got the greatest nutritional products in the world, and that's awesome, and you should be taking them every day. But we also have products in categories that, whether you're taking nutritional products or not, I guarantee you're using this category of products, and I guarantee every person you know are using these category of products. Things to wash your body, wash your hair, wash your clothes, clean your home, and so on and so forth. These are everyday commodities that people are going to use all the time, brushing their teeth. These are the products that we have as well, all toxic-free, made from organic ingredients. Now, this 10% check that I talked about, that I call the endless team bonus, or you might call it the binary. As you share this with other people, maybe you share this with 2 people or 4 people, or maybe more, like Dr. Becky. You just tell the world about this. God bless you. But by just telling a few, as their 10% check grows, you can match that check up to 100%. You heard me right. This is called the 100% check match. It's never been done in the industry before, but we have. So go help 4 people make $1,000 a week. You're going to be getting $4,000 a week in a matching bonus. Nothing taken away from them. They're going to get all their money, but you introduce the business to them, you're getting that money as well. So that's just 2 of the 6 ways we pay. It's the best in the industry. We've got the best products. You've heard it from the doc. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to our founder and CEO, Michael Weniger.
I want to do a little fun exercise tonight that I haven't done before. And that is when we're talking about only having to build 2 teams. That's huge. Let me tell you something about Dr. Becky. She was in a company. All she knew was this: go get 2 people involved. That's all she knew. She was making millions of dollars and she still could not explain the compensation plan. That is the truth. And, as she heard, you buy your products, whether you use them, give them away, throw them off the boat, it don't matter. Here's the deal. Watch what I'm going to tell you and how we can do this in a year's time. If you don't think this is worth 1 year of your time, wow, I would say it'd be worth 3 years of my time. Watch how easy this is. You think in 30 days you can find 2 people that would be interested in using products that we have, which means everything from A to Z, award-winning, works better, all certified organic. True story. Today, I walked up to a lady in the store and she's looking at this label. And I walked up to her and I said, "What are you doing there?" She goes, "I'm reading the ingredients." And I go, oh, and it was on a little skincare thing. I kind of looked over at the top. I go, what do you think about that? She goes, oh, looks pretty good. I said, well, right there, see that ingredient right there called propylene glycol? If you think that's pretty good, come on over to my house. Let you in my garage. You can throw some antifreeze on top of you, because that's what that is. You put that down real quick. And then she got my card from me, right? But let's talk about, do you think you could find two people in a month that want to make a lot of money someday? Everybody can. So if it took you 30 days just to find two people, and you put one on the left and one on the right, and that's all you did, you made $10. Oh, well. But now the next month, you look at the person on your right side and you say, I'm going to help you find two people. And we're going to look at the person on the left side. We're going to help them find two people. Okay. And then we got a whole nother month. And all you're doing is focusing on helping that person and that person on each side to go get two more people. That's it. And you said, I'll help work with them. Well, you made $30. You probably made more because you got a fast start bonus, but I'm just saying, off this one way of making money, just this one pinnacle of making money, or vertical, I should say, this one vertical of making money, and there's 6, you made $30. Okay. Now the third month comes along and we do it again. And we focus on that third month to get those 4 people. Let's go get two. You got a month. You got a month. Okay. And you're managing these people, and boom, you made $70 on that one, on this one way of, on this one vertical of making money. Now that's in 3 months. And you know what? After 3 months, people get it. Don't take them, it ain't going to take them more than 90 days to go, that's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. And they start doing the same thing, and it starts working down, and you're there for support. And you make sure you're there for support. And then the 4th month, all that happened was they brought in 2. You made $150 in the 4th month, okay, on that one vertical. Now comes the 5th month. The 5th month, you made $310 just with 2 people. We're only going 2s now. Okay, that's it. Just 2. The 6th month, you're at $630. Now the 7th month comes, the 7th month will come around, and now it gets really exciting, because now off this one vertical, despite all the other money you just made, you're like, wow, I made $1,270. That's a little life-changing for a lot of people. And then guess what? Here comes the 8th month. Now we're at $2,550. That's really good. Some people don't make that in a month. And then now it's going like crazy because you started it. And the 9th month rolls along. And now you're at $5,110. I'll tell you what, at that point, just with that one vertical, you might be quitting your job. You probably are making more than your job. But then guess what happens? Here comes month number 10. And now you're going to be calling me up going, hey, Mike, how you doing today? Well, I'm doing well. How are you? You know you always answer your cell phone, Mike. Yeah, I answer for everybody. I got to ask you a question because I don't want to have to owe you any money. Well, what happened? Well, it's the 10th month and my check is off this one vertical is $10,230. And you know what I'm going to say? Great. Enjoy the money. Click. I'm hanging up. Go have some fun. Okay. But now comes the month number 11. Oh boy. Now you're going, oh, well, Mike said this was going to happen, but this now we're at $20,470. 20,000. What? Oh my gosh. Well, here comes month number 12. I think we got to call Mike again. Hey, Mike. Yep. It's me again. How you doing? Well, I'm just wondering. Really? It says I got $40,000 this month. I don't know if I should, what, 40,000? Are you sure? All we were doing was getting 2 people in. Yep. See you later. Enjoy it. Go have fun with your friends. And how many trips did you win? You're probably outspending the $40,000 on goodies, right? That you got. Now you're buying stuff on these trips. That's in 12 months. You're up to $40,000 off of just one way of getting paid without matching bonuses. Wait till those matching bonuses kick in. I guarantee right now, if that 40,000, you would at least go 1.5 to 2 times that. You're at like $70,000 to $80,000. But what if it took you 2 years? So what? You're still making more money than you ever made in your entire life. Took you 2 years and you're making 40 grand a month. So you think it's 60 days, you can find two people that want to do a business? If you can't, if you really, really can't do that in 60 days, two words for you. Taco Bell, because they pay hourly, because then nobody's cut out for that industry if you can't do that. And if you're having problems or you want help or you want different ways that you can work this business, you get a hold of myself. You get a hold of my brother or Dr. Becky and Dr. JJ and things like that, and people in your upline. Because you know what? Think about just that one way of making money. That's absolutely huge. Just if it was that alone. And you own the largest certified organic superstore in the world. And I'm walking through a store today, watching somebody doing this in the aisle, making sure they aren't poisoning their family, for goodness sakes. And that's really what the world's gone to. Why? Because of the internet, because now the information is out there. You can't say you're safe and premium and high quality and bioactive and clean and not toxic. And we can go on and on with all these words unless you can't do that. That you might as well go get the stuff tested at that point. You're going to find lots of chemicals in there. But I can tell you one thing where you can guarantee and ensure your safetiness. Go buy certified organic stuff. Okay, because you got 5 different organizations that look at that and actually have to do all the testing themselves. So you know you're way better off by using organics. That's why you go to the organic farmers markets when they're available. That's why people do that. Well, that's going to be a way of life. I can't stop the world from growing green. You can. That guy over there, if I turn my thing around here, you can see he's got panels on his house. He drives home in his electric car. And he's got green sustainable housing because he just built it, and he don't even live in there. He lives in here. So if you don't treat this right, who cares what that does for you? Because you won't be alive long enough to enjoy it. That's the truth. Take care of this. What you put in here, what you put on top of there. Because you wouldn't do that to your car, because then you're sitting at the side of the road. Oh my gosh, I'm waiting for a tow truck. This is going to be really expensive. I can't take it. Oh my gosh, how much is this going to cost? Oh my God, if I would have only changed the fluids and gave it regular service, I wouldn't be in this situation now. Let's do some regular service every time you put something in here. Because at the end of the night, tonight, before you say your prayers or before you watch The Price is Right or Gunsmoke or anything like that, you remember one thing. Everything that you did today, every single thing that you put inside yourself, touched and put on top of yourself, you did one of two things. You participated in your life or you participated in your death. That was told to me by a research center, the largest in the world, that when you go there, if you ever had to, and I don't want anybody to have to, but you'll get permanent full recovery. Means you'll walk out and you won't have anything anymore. And then you have to do that. Or you might end up back there, or better, or worse off, you won't end up there again after that. So take care of this, because we got this one chance in life to do that. And you got this world that's going green. And there's a little space in there, this little bubble. It's worth $9 trillion. It's nutritional supplementation and personal care commodities. Not a magic lotion, potion, pill, this, that, twisted words on it, patch, whatever the case might be. It's not a toxic drop, whatever. It's nothing like that. It's whole food nutrition. That's what it is. Certified organic, 100% chemical free and toxic free whole food nutrition. Do right to this, and it'll do right to yourself for the rest of your entire life. Look at Dr. Becky. She's turning 60 years old. I'm like, before she started the conference call, I was gonna actually card her. I thought maybe, she needed to show me her ID, for goodness sakes. She don't look 60 years old because she takes care of herself. I don't look 89. Well, maybe I do. But No, and I'm not 89. But think about what you're doing here because this matters. It really, really does matter. Don't get that bad phone call. You don't even need it. You'll never get it if you do the right things. And that's it, and getting in front of a way of life before it becomes a way of life. In 7 to 8 years, they said, you're not going to have this chance anymore. Everybody's educated. They are looking at labels. You don't have to sit there and read them at this point anymore. You got to just glance at the thing and EDTA is going to stick out at you. Whoa, a peg. If not, wait, this isn't organic. You're going to be doing that because that's the way life is going to be. You know what? Back in my day, when we wanted to call somebody, right? It was like that. You have to wait for it to click around and you do this again, and you do this again. And if you wanted to block somebody like you want to do out here and all this crazy blocking that's going on, you know what you did? Took your phone off the hook and you set it on the side of the table. That's blocking somebody. Nobody was calling at that time. And did you think that when you were a kid ever that you'd be walking around with this and this would be your life? You would be walking around with this and you can check the stock market. You can do a FaceTime, with your, as kids with your parents or grandma and grandpa or whatever the case might be, or maybe now your grandma and grandpa and you're doing the FaceTimes with them and they're as clear as a whistle, they're clear as a bell. Like, whoever thought that was going to happen? If you would have told me even in 1980, when I was 10, no, in 1980, if you would have said, Mike, you're going to have one of these things, you're going to look and you're going to do that, you're going to check everything, you're going to do that and get your email. What, email? What, without a stamp? Come on now. But it happened. And if you were a part of this in the very beginning, you're not a millionaire, you're a billionaire. And like, what is it? Buzzy says, would it be? A billionaire would it be? That's what he says. So you know what? Think about that, because the next wave of wealth predicted by all the resources and the companies that do analytics and all that and everything that's going, it says, get involved in the green movement. Sustainable. They talk about sustainable. Make this sustainable. How do we sustain? By putting good things inside and on top of us. So anything that touches you is going to get in your bloodstream in 26 seconds and enter into your major organs in 5 to 8 minutes. Don't let that be something horrible, because you're going to start messing with your immune system. And once you get that all confused, you're going to run into some major issues, some major problems. So that's it. Hopefully this has impacted you enough to understand where you are from a health perspective and what we need to do for ourselves, and where you are from a financial perspective and being in the right place at the right time in the next way of life that's going to become a way of life forever. And then at that point, that window of opportunity is closed, okay? Get in now when it's wide open and you got a small database. You got a company that's been around a long time with a small database. You know what comes with that? Sustainability, viability, security, okay? Residual income and generational income. Now you can start planning for your kids' future and your grandkids' future. Absolutely. So with that being said, hopefully we've covered everything. You know what? I thank you guys for being here. And I think, I always end a certain way, but you know what? I'm going to end a different way tonight. Okay. And you know what? And I think that, we're going to do this just a little bit differently. Right. And the way that I want to talk is like back in the day, I remember standing in a space where I was in a large audience, right? And it was large, I'm telling you. And I said to these people, and I say this to you, right? Is that, look, once I was asked one time, what would I say to the person that was in the back of the room? And you know what I would tell them? I would say, look, and this I tell everybody here, I want you to get that life that I did not know even existed. So when I was working at, I had 3 jobs when I was in my 20s, taking care of a family, playing music, practicing music. I had no time at all. Didn't know where my life was going. You know what? So when I was working like that, I want you to get that life that I did not know even existed. And once I found out that it did, and I saw it, because you know what? I was born, my father was a Wisconsin gas company employee. So you aren't getting rich doing that. I can tell you that. Okay. But once I seen that and I saw it, I was like, whoa, guess what? I wanted it. I wanted to go out and get it. So you know what I had to do? I couldn't sit in my present existence, which went from generation to generation. What I had to do is I had to rewrite my story, right? So you can do the same thing. You can rewrite your story right after this call, right? See, the problem with most people, true story, with most people, they think too small. They aim too low. And then they end up quitting too soon. And you know what they quit on? Themselves. That is sad in my eyes. And I see it. It's sad. But you know what? I want you, after tonight, hearing what's going on here, I want you to start thinking bigger. I want you to start aiming higher, And most of all, I don't want you to quit. I don't want you to quit. And last but not least, you go get a big dream. You don't have one, you go get a big dream, and you spend the rest of your life chasing that dream. I want you to run that thing down. And you want to know why? Because it's yours. It's yours. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for being a part of the Asante Organics family and always joining us on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And guess what? Not letting her out of it. Tuesday night, Dr. Becky's going to be here. All right. No ifs, ands, or buts. And she's the butt doctor. So there, let her write that down in her book. So you guys have a blessed evening. God bless you all. And we'll see you again. Got any questions? Reach out to us. We are here to help you. Take care. Have a good night.